My name is Keri Lee. I'm the clinical exercise physiologist at the Virginia Piper Cancer Center in exercise rehab. This video includes gentle exercises that you're able to do in your bed. Equipment that you may need are socks, a towel, and just your body weight for resistance. You can also prop your body as what's appropriate for you. Today I'm using 3 pillows just to prop my head and neck, but if you need to be more in a seated position or elevated position, go ahead and do so. We'll use our body weight for strength training in this video, but you're welcome also to use any cuff weights or rubber bands if you have. We'll do 2 sets of 12 exercises in this video. We'll start out with a straight leg raise. I'm going to brace my body by bending and placing my foot on the bed while I work my straight leg here. You're also welcome to brace yourself with your arms out to the side or close to your body, however it makes sense to you. I'm going to keep my toes pulled back toward my face, engaging with my upper thigh muscles here. I'm going to raise my leg up to about even with my other leg here, and gently back down. So pressing ever so slightly my core into the mat, my tummy muscles into the mat. That helps me lift my legs. So you're going to feel this action in your hip and all through these muscles right through here. So your knee is straight, but I still call it soft. So you don't want to try to hurt your knee, but we also don't need it bent either. So straight leg, toes pulled back toward the face. You might feel that stretch in that back part of your leg as you come up, but we're working those muscles here. Coming back down, just ever so slight rest there at the bottom and back up. Going for 12 repetitions. And back down. So we'll switch sides. I'm going to bend this side, so you may not see that very clearly, but it's the same position. I'm going to keep that leg straight. Bring my toes in toward my face and lifting up, making sure I'm using my tummy muscles as well. So those stay tucked in tight. Slow and controlled, not letting my body weight slam back down into my bed. I feel those tummy muscles engage, the lower that leg goes toward the mat. Let's do 2 more. So if you feel like you can't do 12 repetitions or you're not strong enough yet, start where you're successful, if that's 5 or 8, and work yourself to that 12 repetition mark. So this next one is called a heel slide. So this time, if you have socks on your feet and your sheets are slick enough, you're able to slide that foot out from your starting position, which happens to be right here. Your heels are tucked in close to your body. I'm going to work with one leg and rest with the other. So we'll take turns there. I'm going to slide that heel out and back in. If you find that you're on a different surface than your bed, you're also welcome to use a towel that tends to slide a little bit better, or if you don't have socks, you have your shoes on, a towel definitely slides better, but usually stocking or bare feet on your sheets slide really nice. So this time we're still using those muscle groups up here in that thigh, but you're also going to feel it underneath, especially as you bend that knee, bringing that heel in toward that body. I want you to bring those toes back in toward your face, so it's just as if you're riding with your heel. Let's go for 2 more here. So squeezing, you'll feel that tighten right underneath here, and then these muscles will push that leg back out. And last one right here, and all the way back out. So let's go into that position again. This one rests, my other one works. So we'll slide and bring it back in, keeping my toes off the mat, just with that heel Still engaging with those belly muscles, so almost as if you're pressing your belly button in toward your spine. It's not a suck in, so I'm still breathing. It's more of a press in, as if the heavy brick were on your belly. You want to stabilize that. Slow and controlled. Don't have to move quickly with these motions. Let's go for 2 more here. Good. Okay. So we've just worked the front part of our legs here. Let's start working on that posterior chain where your glutes and your hamstrings. Sometimes with this next exercise, you want to be a little more flat, so you may have to adjust your pillow or your propping, but if that's not an option, that's okay too. I'm going to make sure that my shoulders are a little more on that mat, so I've adjusted my pillows as such. I have my knees bent so my feet are flat on the mat, and they're somewhat close to my body. The closer they are to my body, the harder it is, but I don't want them far away from you, otherwise we won't get a nice lift. We're going to work on a bridge here. So to bridge, I'm going to squeeze my glutes. I'm going to press my hips up toward the ceiling. I'm going to hold that there. 3, 2, 1, and then gently back down. Now sometimes you may not get a lot of clearance. Sometimes your mattress is a little wobbly. My mattress happens to be quite firm. So if you're wobbling around, you might not get as much height, and that's okay. That's just training those muscles around those hips to be even stronger. So sometimes it's a good thing. When you're working, definitely don't work into a point of pain. So I want you to go with a range of motion that feels good to you. When you're up on the top, squeeze with your glutes, your bum muscles. They're nice and tight. You might feel that in your hamstrings. Oftentimes my clients get a little cramp when we do this, set out to do this for the first time. If that's the case, just take a break and start again. Focusing that energy on that posterior side, your back side. Lifting up, kind of thinking about being a bridge, something able to pass underneath there. Let's go for 2 more. I do like a nice long pause at the top and then gentle on the way back down. This is great for lower back all the way through that back part of your legs. Great. So for this next one, I'm going to recommend that we lie on our side. If that is not a position that's an option for you or comfortable for you, then you can omit this exercise. I'm going to lie on this side so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'll get to my side, and I've stacked my legs up. So I'm slightly in a seated position, if you will, meaning my hips are bent, my knees are bent, and my ankles are on top of each other. So ankles on top, knees on top, and hips in a slightly bent position. You can do what you need to do in the upper body. If you need more pillows or more support for your upper body, I tend to tuck my hand underneath and support my head that way. This arm, your free arm, hand can place here on the mattress, or if you want to on your hip. But what I want to make sure is that your hips are stacked on top of each other, not rolled over to the side or rolled to the back. So we're really going to push those hips. They're stacked up here, stacked up there, stacked up on the ankle. So this is a clam. So if you can imagine a clam opening and closing, that's exactly what we're going to do with our knees. The action is at the hip, so this helps strengthen the hip. We're going to open up and then close back down. So we're just using our body weight here. It doesn't have to be a big range of motion, just enough to make that posterior and your side work here. If you find you're opening up too far and rolling your body onto your back, then maybe you need to decrease that range of motion. Again, you can rest your hand here, or if you need more support in that upper body here. Let's go for 2 more. Slow and controlled, breathing the whole time. There you go. So at home, you're welcome just to roll to the other side. For the purpose of this video, I'm actually going to get up and move so that you can see me for the next side. I'll omit the pillows, but like I said, you at home can just roll over. So I'm going to support my head Again, looking for stacked hips. They're right on top of each other, not rolled forward or rolled back. Slightly bent here. Bent at the knees. They're stacked on top of each other, as well as my ankles. My ankles and my hip are the hinge. We're going to open up, clam here. You might find that one side is stronger or more flexible than the other, and that's okay. Just work through it as long as there's no pain. You should be feeling it here on the side of your body. Maybe even off to the side of that leg there. Supporting my upper body here so I don't roll forward. Again, on your mattress, depending how soft it is, you might have to support yourself a different way. Let's do 2 more on this side. There we go. Okay. Let's go back to that same position, lying on your back. And last one to finish off for our abs, our core strength. One leg at a time again. I'm going to show you, let's see. I like both knees bent. So I think what I'll do is this side I'll show you. We're going to rest one side and work the other. I'm going to straighten out my arm right here. That's going to be the brace I want to push against. I'm going to bring that knee up. I want you to push that knee into your hand and your hand into your knee. You're going to feel that energy come down through your belly and also through your hip. So we're just going to hold this here. So if I were to move my knee would come toward my face. So hand pushing into knee, knee pushing into hand. This is an ab brace. So we're working the core, we're working our legs. Just hold them for about 10 or 12 seconds. Should be good. Good. Let's switch sides. So again, getting that position, arm nice and straight. That's the brace we're going to push against, that force from that knee pushing into that hand. Doesn't really matter what you do with that foot there, but I like to pull those toes back. So push, push, push. This is an isometric exercise. I like this resting knee to stay here and not flatten out. And we're good there. All right, let's start those exercises over again. Let's go for round 2. Straight leg raise, that's where that leg is straight. Here's our resting leg, our working leg is straight. We're gonna pull those toes back toward our face. Knee engaged, nice and straight. We're gonna lift up for 12. So you'll feel those tummy muscles engage again. So I'd like to use that core best we can, but if you need to brace with those hands here, that's okay too. To advance this move ever so slightly if you want to is not to let that heel touch the bed. Just right before it touches, you come back up. But if you need that little break and rest, you can certainly do that. The key here is keeping that knee straight. Making sure you breathe. Good. Feeling those leg muscles come alive. And last one right here. Nice. Good. So again, this side will rest, the other side will work. Straight knee, toes pulled toward the face the entire time, and let's go. Good. You might feel that this side presses into that mattress just to help brace your hips. So we're keeping those hips square and lifting up, pulling in those tummy muscles. Breathing with each motion, so still being able to keep that tummy tight, breathe. Sometimes it takes a while to catch on to that. I definitely don't want you holding your breath. Feel those leg muscles really talking to you, engaged. Might feel a little stretch in the back of that leg as we reach up. Let's go for 2 more here. Great, that does it for that straight leg raise. Okay, next is that heel slide. Again, that bare or stocking foot should be able just to slide on that mattress. If not, in my situation, I definitely like a towel. So, pull this in and push it out. So best I can, tuck it in close to my body. I'm kind of squeezing with these back leg muscles here and then pressing out. Gonna really feel that engage here. So pull in and push out. pull in and push out. So I haven't dropped my toe. My toes are still staying toward my face. It's going to engage those lower leg muscles down there too. So everybody's working. Let's go for 2 more. This is a heel slide. Last one. And we'll switch sides. Oop, I lost my towel. And my sock. Okay, here we go. So bracing with this side, engage those tummy muscles, push it out, pull it in. I'm losing it. There we go. Just drop the towel. If it doesn't work, do what works. Trying to keep those toes up. So just drawing on my mattress here with my heel. Push out. If it's kind of awkward and bumpy, that's okay. We're still getting a good workout. Trying to engage that core, work those legs. You might feel your heart rate or your breathing rate comes up with this. If that's the case, we might need to slow down a little bit, or not go as many repetitions. And last one right here. Good. Next up is that bridge. So again, you might have to adjust your pillows. I have my shoulders on the mat. So just depending on your situation, if you can do that, great. I'm going to use my hands to support my upper body, but the lower half is going to do all that work. My feet are flat on the mattress. And my heels aren't really close to my body, but they're not far away either, so I like them right there in that medium. I'm going to press my hips up. Nice long hold. You might find yourself kind of wobbling back and forth. Try to engage those muscles as best you can. Really give them a squeeze and then back down, lowering gently. So don't slam that body back into the mattress. Try to lower nice and gently, just as if you're a mama hen laying on some chickens. How's that? Or on some eggs. Gentle. I'm kind of pushing my weight through my feet. Feel that engage in those hamstrings, these muscle groups in your legs, also in your bum. Might feel that tightness in your belly as well. And again, it doesn't matter how high you get off the mat. Just the fact that you're engaging those muscle groups is a very good thing. As you get stronger and more efficient at this exercise, you'll find that you'll have more clearance underneath. Again, we can always hold longer at the top. That'll give us more contraction, which will give us more strength and endurance. Last 2 right here. Or we can just keep moving through that range. Last one right there. Good. Okay, we're going to move into that clam. So that's where we roll on our side. And looking for that stacked joint. So stacked hips, not rolled forward or back. Stacked right on top, ankles on top. Our hips and our ankles are the hinge as we open up that clamshell and close it back up. So again, it might not be a big range of motion for you, and that's okay. We're still working those hip muscles, and that's what's important. Slow and controlled in both directions. Try not to let gravity pull you back down. Easy on the joints, easy on the muscles. Again, you can rest your hand wherever you like. If you need more support on top, sometimes that tends to pull you forward. Let's do one more right here and we'll switch sides. Okay, for you at home, just roll over to the other side. I'm going to take a second here and switch sides. Okay, same positioning, hips stacked, knees, ankles, opening that, keeping the ankles hinged, so don't let them slide apart or kick anything over there. There you go. It's always a good idea to engage those belly muscles even when you're lying on your side. So those are tucked in, still breathing through the exercise, resting your hand on there maybe for a little resistance. Let's do 2 more on this side. job. And last time for that ab bracing. Now here you can just roll over on your back. I'm going to reposition. Work that core just one last time here. Support your head. All right, so here's that arm, nice and straight. Let's start there. Bring that knee up to it. Let's hold for 10 seconds. So push, 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 push with all your might. Pushing that into that hand. So if my hand were to move, my knee would come flying toward my face. And 10. Good. Let's switch sides. Go again.